Welcome to the Messy Success Podcast, where we are shining a light on being successful in an unconventional way. My name is Tracy French, and I am your host. I am a mom, wife, real estate agent, real estate investor, and real estate team leader. I'm joined by my friend and co-host, Jim Hill. We discuss how success in life doesn't always have to look the same, and we are here to prove that to you. Let's get started.
Yeah.
Welcome. How's it going?
Fantastic.
I feel like it's been a while.
Yes, it has.
We have a lot to talk about. We're not going to talk about everything we want to talk about because we have a plan. But
That's good.
let's start off talking about making sure that we are referencing Messy Success with Tracy French and friends.
Yes.
And not so. Yeah, I got an email when we were in Vegas. I guess 3 weeks ago.
Sounds right.
From someone who claimed that it was basically stating you have X amount of days to change the name of your podcast or else.
Or dun dun dun.
There was a word that she used in the email that made me feel way more important than I. What is the word that she used? Because
I didn't get the email.
Prominent.
Prominent might be the right
Prominently,
word.
like.
Yeah, I mean, because you are pretty prominent.
I know, right? No, but it. I don't know how she found me. I don't know, but the fact that she did find me and felt like I was potentially. I mean, I don't know. I know she used the. I'm like, we have like 5 listeners.
Maybe 6.
Maybe 6.
Nah, we got more than that.
But I don't know. One part of me was flattered that she knew who we were and enough to send me a notice that you are I guess, I mean, I don't know. I'm not good with these words. Basically, she, I guess, has the Messy Success podcast trademarked. Is that right?
That's correct.
And
you were a threat.
And I was a threat. So on one hand, I was like, hey, like, somebody knows
Why are
who
you
we
so
are.
Threatening, Tracy? Jeez.
But then on the
Such
flip
a
side,
bad girl.
I was annoyed.
Yeah.
But I sent the email to our trusty folks here and had some people review it who know a lot more about that stuff than I do. And we are okay.
Yes, we are.
We do not have to adjust anything. We just have to make sure that we keep it Messy Success with Tracy French and friends, and we should be good to go.
And that's who we are.
That's who we are.
We are Tracy French and
You
friends.
are my friend.
Indeed, I am. Thank you.
Anyone,
Likewise.
Yeah.
And so is our friend behind the glass over here,
Andrew,
who's chatting with us today a little bit.
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up?
the man behind the what is that over there?
That material is called glass.
Indeed, it is.
Oh Lord. Okay, so
I guess where I'm going with this though is like, I think I said this to you. To me, like Messy Success, like that's kind of like pot calling the kettle black, or what's another phrase that people say all the time, right? I mean, I don't know.
yeah, no, I again, but I know a lot about some things, but I don't know a lot about a lot of things. So that's why I was like, I'm going to just forward this along to the people that know best and take their advice. So
Here we are,
and we're good. So I've got my little notes over here on things. So we're going to kind of mix it up today because there's been some things we haven't really dove into a lot of business talk
No, we
for
haven't.
a while, but I don't know. I feel like it's necessary just because the real estate market is crazy. Our lives are crazy. And I think that some of us feel like we have to take on so much and we don't necessarily have to. I want to get your opinion, and I know I'm not directing this at you, but I do think that
maybe a little bit.
I do think that something I thought about this morning will make sense to you and so many other people who are trying to keep up. So we all know I used to do a lot of transactions, and I feel like that's why I can speak on this, because I've lived it and I've closed so much, but I also know what I experienced doing that.
Let's not get it twisted. You still do a lot of transactions.
Okay, fair enough. I do. But I think that sometimes, and I have, let me see what I wrote here. Sometimes I think that people, in real estate especially, think the more leads I take on, the better. I need to take. But I don't, I'll close more deals. The more leads that I can get in my pipeline, the more deals I'm going to close. And you would think that that's the case. But the more I think about it, the more it really makes sense to me that I don't know if that's necessarily true. Because if you are consistently filling your database with so many, not clients, leads who you need to build that rapport with and gain their trust, would it make more sense if we focused on taking in less volume of leads and giving each and every one of them the attention, the follow-up that they need, and then you will gain more clients who trust you, who hear from you frequently, and lose less of them.
So
and
less
ultimately,
is more.
I mean, maybe not always, but it's just, I think it's something that's it's a fair statement that it doesn't always mean take, because we're only human. We can only handle so much.
Right.
With our personal lives, with our business. I just don't know if I really agree with, and maybe there's some people who can manage it all and not let anything fall through the cracks, or, but it just got me thinking, well, if we have 20 leads that came in that week, but we were so busy, we really only got to give the 110% to 8 of them that wanted to schedule something that day, or, would we, does it make sense what I'm
I
getting
hear what
at?
you're saying.
So sometimes
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Well, and I know, for instance, I'll tell my team, like, and you've heard me say this, let me know, like, I'll turn your leads off. If it's too much, let me know. It's okay to take a break. But it's hard. I've been there too. You're like, well, I don't want to turn them off because that's less stuff that I have to work. But I just think if we shifted our mentality a little bit, that it still would be okay. And we may even have the ability to close more.
Yeah. I mean, I think obviously,
what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it's so tough because,
it is.
Some of these leads that come in, they're not great. Like that one that came in the other day for that humongous listing for me.
Yeah.
And I was so excited. I mean, in the back of my mind, I thought,
well, let's talk about that.
All right. So this lead came in the other day for a $2.49 million house. And I was just like, yo, that
Woo-hoo.
Obviously in my short career, that would have been the biggest sale if, hypothetically speaking, moving forward. And so in my mind, obviously I'm seeing this number. Obviously I'm hearing cash registers, hearing all the cha-chings. And so I reach out to the lead, just like I always do, and got a response. I was like, holy crap. Because this wasn't like the first, this is probably like the third or fourth of that magnitude that I've gotten, but the first time somebody actually responds. So I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, finally one is good to go. So, I mean, I'm on the phone with this guy. We're talking about the house, talking about the listing. We set up an appointment, and everything's good. I confirmed with him via text the day before, hey, we're still good for tomorrow, right? Confirmed, all capital letters. Show up at the listing. Obviously, listings like that, typically the listing agent is there for the showing also.
Right.
Super nice lady, Pam, if you're listening to this, super nice lady. And we had a great conversation for about 30 minutes, but, and I'm texting with this person, this lead, during the time when he's supposed to be there. Hey, you on your way? No rush. Be safe driving. Yeah, we're on the way. 15 minutes out. Yada yada. Yeah, he no-showed.
So I was looking in your Follow Up Boss, which is the CRM that we use, and I was reading that. When you told me you didn't show, I went in there and I'm like, this dude was legit carrying this out to like the last second, making you even think that he was going to be there.
Yeah.
Like we've left the house. And I was like, man,
we're in our Uber. Like, yeah,
he was dedicated to standing you up and just laughing all the way.
Yeah.
And I was like, what in the, like,
joke's on me, of course, which is fine. It won't be it's not the first time, won't be the last. But, you know, in that moment, it's like I'm sitting here thinking to myself, because like I'm looking at this other lady. It's like, so here's the other thing too. A listing like that, those listings last a little bit longer because there's only a finite group of folks out there that are even shopping in that price range. So, you know, the prospect of actually getting somebody who's legitimately interested in something like that, you know, I would guess that my chances of competition are far less versus something in the, you know, $200,000 to $300,000 range.
Right.
You know, so I'm excited. You know, I'm talking to Pam, real nice lady. This house is unbelievably beautiful. Yeah. Like, it was absolutely stunning. And then he shows and you know, the rest is history there. But
so yeah, not all leads are
quality.
Great.
So I have a question.
Sure.
So is there anything you could have done to further qualify that lead to have not been stood up?
Yeah. So there's this.
So there's another part to this.
Yeah, there's another.
Okay.
Good question.
And that's why, great question. And that's honestly, initially is why I was a little bit nervous. So there's this other app that's called Forewarn, where you can take a cell phone number and you can input it. And it tells you, like, it searches all the different databases, tells you who that number is registered to. You know, honestly, I think it even tells you like a home address or an address that
It's for safety for realtors. So our board provides us with this app at no cost to us. It's included in our membership so that we can better, you know, kind of have a preview of the kind of person, because, you know, realtors have gone on showings and not come home. So that's what it's for. It's to, if we meet strangers in empty homes consistently. It's part of our job. So it's a way for us to go in, and if someone says that they're going to meet us, it's a way for us to validate that, who you are. Yeah. So I went into Forewarn and I did input this phone number, and it was a completely different name, because he had told Jim that he was moving here from Vegas.
Crap. Did I just call Jim out?
You did, but it's okay.
No, I mean
it's fine. Like I call myself out.
On the flip side of that, it's not always right. I mean, there is a chance that he has a company phone, or I don't know. It's not a foolproof type thing. So we had a little bit of an idea going in that this or he was skeptical once we figured that out. Yeah. But still hopeful.
I mean, honestly, had there not been obviously there was the red flag, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this dude might not be legit, but the constant communication and the responses, that we were having, I mean, he was really convincing. I mean, I'm not easily fooled, but he got me. Yeah. He got me good. But anyways, I mean, so I'll probably pay a lot more attention, especially on if I get somebody responding to me, for a lead like that. But because I don't often go to that Forewarn account. I mean, I just don't often do it, but
I don't either. It just so happened that one I did.
It's I don't want to make some crass comparisons, but it's there if you need it.
Yeah. Yes. No, it's funny because after I was no-showed, I did text him another, and I called him by the name that he said his name was, and then I said and then I put the name that was in Forewarn. I said, whatever your name is. I was like, oops. I was like, whenever, I was not happy. I just sent him a little snarky. Thanks for wasting my time.
So knowing that, of course, all the leads that come in, they're either going to be hit or miss. Some of them are great. Some of them are not so great. Some of them don't reply at all. But I do want to know, go back to what you think and get your opinion on what I said before about, because you have to agree, you are very, very busy. Yep. It's almost impossible. You can be the most organized person there is, but life happens. You get home and you think, oh, I need to do this. And then your kid needs you. And then all of a sudden you're sidetracked and then life happens.
No, I agree. I do think sometimes you have to be honest with yourself and step back and, you know, whether it's shut the leads off, which, you know, that's like, to me, I feel like most people may agree to this that are real estate agents. Shutting your leads off is like, it's like this, it's like the angel on your one shoulder, devil on the other, like constant battle in your head. Like, you know you need to do it, but then it's like, well, what happens if I miss, you know, a good one, you know? And then, so it's just that constant battle in your head. But yeah, I mean, so to your point, yes. I mean, I do think that sometimes you need to have enough, you know, self-awareness to pull back to make sure that the people you are working with are getting your utmost.
Yeah. And I think because I'm in the position that I am now, that I am in there a lot, seeing what you guys are doing, I see it more because sometimes that's like an hour or two of my day is dedicated to going in there and just helping you guys stay followed up or seeing what's happening. And because I will say, I don't think that anyone should ever stop prospecting.
Right.
And Eric Scroggin, it sticks with me. When I first got into this business, he said, the best advice, don't ever stop prospecting. But I don't think that pausing the leads flow coming in, it's not that you're stopping the prospecting part of it, because there's still hundreds of leads in your database that need to be prospected. So it's allowing you to really hone in on the people, especially the people who have responded. Because any realtor who works online leads know a lot of them come in and they never reply. But the ones that you actually get a reply from, I feel like if you get so many of those, if it's not them saying, I want to go see 123 Main Street at 2:00, but it's just, you still need to like caress that lead and get them. But we get sidetracked and then they sit there and then all of a sudden it's a cold lead and now they could have went somewhere else.
Oh yeah. I got super lucky today, speaking of that, because I had a lead set up to show a house yesterday at 4:30. And as you know, I had a meeting yesterday that took literally my entire day, all from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. At no point prior to this meeting, which was not real estate related, did I think that I was going to be there for 12 hours. Yeah, joke's on me again. So anyways, I'm in this meeting, my phone's down, I'm really not paying attention to anything, and this guy reaches out, he said, hey, are we still good at 4:30? And then I get done with a meeting and I look at my phone and I'm like, oh my God. So I sent him a text last night and I called and left him a message, and I said, look, I am so sorry. I said, this is on me. I had a personal situation I was dealing that needed my immediate attention that lasted a whole lot longer than I thought it was going to do. And he called me back this morning, so we're set up for tomorrow.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so we're good there. But it's interesting. He wants to see the exact same house that I'm showing to another client tomorrow also. So I haven't had a lot of that either. So that's interesting. So I've got like a 30-minute gap. It's down in Bardstown. I've got a 30-minute gap between the two showings to make sure that like the first one gets done. I'm just going to hang out.
Yeah.
And then the other one comes back. But, you know, that's fortunately that client, you know, and that one's a good one to me, because somebody that would hang on, like he called, texted, and was seemingly ignored until late last night, and then called me back in response to my message. So, I mean, leads like that, those are golden regardless of price point. So,
so I don't know. I thought it was something to touch on today, because I think you and I are a lot alike in many ways, as far as we both are. And I think for the most part, everyone on our team is like this. And I think it's because I attract that type of mentality, but it's almost like never enough. We always want it to, like, doesn't matter how good things are. It's we can always level up a little bit more. But I never even.
I mean, because all we do is win, 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 no matter what. So
all we do is win, 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 no matter what.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So I'm going to be like, for us and the team, I'm really going to bring that up with everyone else and have us really focus more on what opportunities we have and not how many of them can come in.
Well, speaking of that, you've said this before too, like we all start freaking out when things get slow or seemingly like we're not slow, but things like aren't clicking like that. Like, for example, we'll talk about my February.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. So I had a monster January. Like for me, it was probably, a lot of that was kind of rollover from December.
Yeah.
And then the contracts that I was able to, get in January, between what closed in January and what I got under contract, it was like 2.3 is what it was. So, I mean, it was, for me, that was a big month. So then all of a sudden February happens and it went ice cold for like 30 days. I mean, I offered my tail off on house after house after house after house for multiple clients. Every single one was getting outbid. Cash buyer this, cash buyer that, waiving everything this. And I'm like, for the love of God, like, what do I got to do? So, I mean, it was like a 30-day stretch that I didn't get any new contracts. And then I finally got and then all of a sudden in 2 days I got 3. When like as soon as March hit, it was like boom there. And I was just like, the one gif I sent was the old lady from Titanic. It's been 87 years, and I was like, thank God, I finally got that monkey off my back. But
February was weird.
Yeah,
it was weird
super
for
weird.
all of us. Probably the worst month we've had as a team in a long time.
And we were all offering, every single one of us.
Yeah.
I mean, we were all, legit. I mean, I'm talking like not even huge price points. Like a $200,000 house, somebody comes in 25 over my offer, all cash, waives everything. And I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah. And it's, let's talk about that too, because it's really tough to be in a market like this. It's like, do you want to still protect your client,
right?
But it's like you almost have to tell, like, we're losing to people who are not even having an inspection.
Yep.
And that's really tough to go to your buyer and say, look, and honestly, I haven't done it because I don't feel right and right about it. If someone says to me, I don't want an inspection, and they're adamant about it, but I don't even feel right advising my client, if you want to win this house, you can't have a home inspection.
Right. So that one client, speaking of Eric Scroggins, the deal that I got with him, shout out E, what's up, dude? That client, when we finally got that house under contract, I won't go into the detail of how, because initially we did not.
Yeah.
But when we finally got that house under contract, that was like the 8th house that I had offered for those folks. Now, fortunately, those folks, they were referred to me from a previous client. So I guess those previous clients thankfully spoke highly and they stuck with me, which thank God they did. But I mean, I kept saying to them, I was like, man, we're writing good offers. Like but that price point too, that area, like that 275 to 225, like that is such a saturated market with people right now. Like there's so few great homes. And I mean, I don't say that they're not great. There's so many people and so few homes in that price point that last long enough for people to get into them. I kind of go back to what that the gentleman was saying out in Las Vegas. The one speaker, he said, there's not an inventory problem. It's that the inventory comes to the market and it's gone quickly. So, and it, that kind of changes your mindset a little bit, which I think he's dead right. I mean, you look at all, if you look at all the pendings plus active, like there's tons of houses out there.
Yeah.
But anyways, got another one coming up soon. Hopefully that other repeat client.
Oh,
yeah. She's down to, hadn't even been in her house a year. She's like, yeah, I just want something different. And I'm like, okay.
And it looks so good.
Yeah.
She sent pictures of it.
Completely
really
redone
good.
the interior. And I can't wait to help her sell it because that's going to be in that price point. Somebody's going to come in and massive. Well, I don't know this, but it looks like one of those homes where somebody will come in and overpay.
Yeah, I believe it. So let's flip that. We had a terrible February.
Yes.
We were all on the struggle bus. I think we closed 6 transactions in February as a team.
3 of them.
as a team. Dang. And then, so we're almost to the end of March, and I think we're at like 17 or 18. So we finally like gotten back into the swing of things and started winning. But let's.
Yeah, I'm ahead of you on the leaderboard right now. I know that won't last.
I hope that you stay there. I hope that you stay there. I'm still mentally adjusting to the fact that I don't need to be there anymore, and I shouldn't be there anymore. But man,
everybody knows.
It's tough. I'm just saying. I've been on the top of the leaderboard since I've been at Remax, and
Diamond French over here, man, she stays at the top.
But so now I'm like, I don't even think I'm top 10.
You're not.
That's the plan. Like, I'm following the plan. I'm not supposed to be up there anymore. And
I'll tell you where you are. Hold on.
I need to let it go. No.
Let's let Elsa stick to that.
What were you looking? Are you looking something up?
Yeah, I'm going to look where you are on the list right now.
Oh, Jesus.
Here we go. Current. I'm at number 9. You're at number 12.
Oh, no, it's fine.
You still got a 1 in your number, though.
It's fine. It's a mental struggle because my biggest competition is always myself, but I like to win.
As it should be.
But it's not about me anymore. It's about the team winning.
I know everybody else that's above me is likely having closings right now, like in between now and next week. But if for whatever reason no one above me has any closings, after next Monday I'll be number 2. But I know that all those folks above me are going to have.
Because our office is full of
we got a bunch of ballers.
Some ridiculous
and Jay over there adding about 2 or 3 agents a day.
I know, right?
To his team. Good for him.
We're going to have to move it to a different office just for his team.
Yeah.
That's
on him, though.
So let's, like, when we started this whole podcast thing, we talked about, like, messy success and being a mom.
With Tracy French and friends.
With Tracy French and friends. And having, like, how I've been able to manage mom life and wife life and work life and all of those things. So I wanted, like, I thought it was hard before, but my schedule right now is ridiculous.
Almost redonkulous.
Redonkulous. And I'm super, super excited that, so Madison, my daughter, plays lacrosse and field hockey for Male High School.
How did she do driving your car home the other night?
She did good.
Oh,
She's
good
done
for her.
really well driving my car.
That's
awesome. But so she's on she's a sophomore. So was on JV her freshman year, and sophomore year she's on JV. And then, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago, she sends me a message and she's like, I got double rostered for varsity. And I'm like, so happy for her, because I think it'll be a really good experience for her to, I always feel like you do better when you're around others who are better than you. I've said it before. I'll always say that. So I think her being, regardless of how much playing time she gets, I think it's going to be a good experience and push her to be a better athlete. That being said, I'm like, holy moly. Now I have double games to add to my schedule. So when I look at my schedule in the evenings, I'm really going to be leaning on the team now, because it's...
Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll take all your leads and go sell a home.
Oh my God.
Saying, just let me know. I'm here.
So I'm on the struggle bus. I'm trying to, like, okay, we've got JV game, varsity game. Everywhere I had a JV game, I had to go back to my calendar and add the other game before it.
That's dope for her, though. Congratulations.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I'm happy for her. I'm just, man, but it's
Lacrosse
okay.
is a cool sport. I don't really know much about it, but it kind of looks brutal. It kind of looks like hockey on the ground.
Absolutely. I was just thinking that. Yeah.
Okay.
And these girls, now watching the varsity games, it's different. Like, because the girls are much more experienced. They are much more serious than what I've been used to seeing in JV. And they do not play around. Mm-mm. It's like they are trucking each other. And I have no idea what the rules are. It also, believe it or not, kind of reminds me of basketball a little bit too. Like, charging, and can you do, like, when you're trying to get to the goal, I still don't know the answer to this. Can you just charge right in between two people and, like, I don't know. But
you're asking the wrong guy.
It's a very physical game, and it's very fast, and it's so fun to watch.
Speaking of sports, so oddly enough, my son is doing both baseball and flag football at the same time right now. I'm a little bit nervous about the football just because, like, he, for months leading up to this, he's like, I want to play football. I want to be the quarterback. And I'm like, man, I'd love that, son. Like, yeah, we could. But he does not like to be touched, hit, anything. Now, it is flag football, so it's not, in theory, it's not contact. But I'm like, are you sure you want to play it? Because he don't like to be hit right now. And so I'm like, all right, well, we're going to find out quick. We're going to find out real fast if you really want to play football. I hope he loves it, because
this sounds so familiar.
I would love nothing more than to see him succeed athletically. And so then baseball, we switched leagues this year, not because last year's league was bad.
You left Fern Creek?
We did. We're going out to Mount Washington. And the reason why is logistically – it's easier for us to get out to Mount Washington.
Because of traffic.
Because of traffic.
Yep.
Because of those folks that are developing that area right there at the Snyder in Bardstown.
It's a cluster.
It is an absolute it was already a cluster. And now it's even worse. Like, I think I read something about one of the local county reps. They did a traffic survey, and I'm like, but did they? Mm-hmm. Did they really?
Yep.
So anyways, it's easier for us to get out, but I'm excited more because all the people who actually know baseball in our office, the Jays, the Zacks, the Phils of the world, I was talking to them about it, and they were all, because it's coach pitch out there instead of this sling machine.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, coach pitch is so much better for their development.
Yeah. So
I've been taking him to the batting cages, and he gets in a little 40-mile-an-hour cage, and he's turning on it.
You just mentioned it, but our office is full of amazing athletes.
Yes, they are.
And
all of us, cheerleaders, all of them.
We've got volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
We've got baseball,
football,
soccer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We are just loaded with some athletic ability.
Forgot the cheerleaders.
But cheerleaders,
national champion cheerleaders.
National. You already said that though.
So I'm just
Don't
saying.
put that on. You said it before I started.
I just whispered
saying,
it, but then
you said
started
cheerleading, and then
right.
I started talking about the other one.
Just
so
saying.
I didn't leave you out.
It's worth a second mention.
Cheerleading.
I mean,
don't forget cheerleading.
But
hey, we're good people.
That national title too.
Multiple.
Crystal too. She's got multiple. She got a world championship.
She does.
Good
but I was getting at, if you ever need. Well, I know Phil's got 3 kids now. He's not as available, but he is like legit when it comes to hitting.
He seems, Tripp, my son, seems to really like baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And that, again, like I'll support him in whatever sport, athletic venture, or if he wants to become a mathlete, I'll support him in that as well. Like I don't care. Like, but yeah, no, he seems to really like baseball, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, I was, when you talked about the football thing, and I said, oh, that sounds so familiar. So my son Thomas, when he was probably, how old is Tripp now? 8. He was probably around that age, maybe 8 to 10, and he begged me to play football. Begged me. So I signed him up it was Highview Football League. 1 practice and he was done.
That's funny.
He was like, nope, I'm not doing it. Because it was regular football, though. And he wanted no part of it after that. He cried. And I'm like, because it was legit.
Dang, you don't call your son out like that?
I mean, it is
to all
what
of our
it is.
6 listeners?
It is.
I mean, shoot.
It is. Yeah. So 1 practice and he was done. But you got to let him experience it and know.
And here's the thing. Like, I say this in the most loving way possible, but my son needs to toughen up a little bit. Mm-hmm. All right. It's, and to me, there's few other sports other than football that can help facilitate that.
Let's talk. Funny enough, Tom Brady.
Right.
He could be the next Tom Brady.
Oh my God.
No one ever would have thought that Tom Brady would have been what he became to be.
Maybe he thought he would be, but
Maybe, but I don't know. I'm just saying.
have you ever
Don't
gone back
count him
and
out.
looked at the NFL Combine pictures of him when he came out of college?
I saw them on the series Man in the Arena. Have you watched it?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, you've got to. This is a plug for them since we have so many listeners. It's really good.
We might get 7 now.
Even if you're not a huge, I mean, obviously, I think a lot of people don't like Tom Brady. But if you're a sports fan, you will love it's Man in the Arena. I think it's 9 episodes. It's really good. It's him basically talking the whole time, and they interview people, his teammates, his parents, his sisters. But that's when I saw all those pictures that you're talking about. Yeah. So go watch it. It's on ESPN Plus.
All right.
Am I allowed to say that? Okay. What are you doing?
I'm looking at this thing real quick. Sorry. I need to put my phone down.
Put your phone down. You do that in the gym too.
Well,
let's talk about that. So, update. When we had Nikki on, both of us said we were going to get our ish together, and we started training
and ourselves
with Nikki, and we're doing pretty good. We're meeting 3 days a week. They're
give or take, but yeah.
I'm meeting 3 days a week. Jim had an important thing yesterday.
I wanted to gouge my eyeballs out yesterday, but yeah.
But so
not literally, of course.
But we said you weighed
I was like
250 pounds.
250.
And I remember that because I was 150 pounds. My mom listened to the show. She's like, you never said what you weighed. I said that I weighed 100 pounds less than him, which means I weighed 150. So I was just telling Jim before we started today, I went and got on the scale and I was kind of excited. I'm like, and it said I weighed 151. Like, well, muscle weighs more than fat.
Yeah.
Amen.
I'm down to 241.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
What the heck? And I'm the one who's like sending photos of my clean eating food that's being prepped for me, and you're the one losing weight.
I've got a lot more to lose. Significantly.
Hold on.
A lot more.
You do. What time is it? How much time do we have? So let's talk, since we're talking about your ability to shed weight faster because you're a man. Can we talk about the NCAA championship swimmer?
Yo.
Can we talk about that?
Why not?
I mean, you don't want to talk about it?
I'll talk about it. Yeah, I'll talk about it all you want.
I mean, no, we're both kind of like, do we talk about it?
Well, so
it's
such a hot button topic. So for me, look, be who you want to be. Like I cast no shame, no nothing. Like you be whoever you want to be. But there is simple biology and science. Like
it doesn't go away when you.
No. I mean.
And I realize that it's a sensitive thing to talk about.
That's incredibly sensitive.
I completely understand that.
Because I know many people that are also like Leah Thomas. Like I mean, and great people. Like but at the end of the day,
it's hard for me. And I do have people that I know that I care for deeply, that I have so much respect for, that are in, I don't even know, is it, I guess, transgender?
Yes.
Is that what is the swimmer? Okay. But me, again, having 3 daughters, I don't know that I could be quiet about that. I don't.
Yeah.
And I don't, maybe someone can bring can educate me a little bit more and change my mind. But I don't know how that's possible, seeing that science is science and we are who we are. I just, again, maybe it's wrong to talk about it, but when I think about those athletes, not just the ones that's in the pictures that's circulating now, there's so many others that I have read about that have taken a back seat to, I don't know. I just think that it's
certainly on the surface without knowing all the details of that person's, full life, knowing all the details of the decisions that went into what allowed that person to compete in the women. On the surface, there's nothing about it that seems fair to the other women swimming, the biological women. So
what do you think? And this is just me thinking out loud as we're talking. It makes me think, what would happen if women were to take testosterone or steroids that wouldn't be okay.
No, it's dangerous.
That wouldn't be okay if a panel of swimmers or runners or whatever are drug tested and one is tested positive for testosterone, steroid use, they're disqualified immediately. So that's kind of my thought process of.
Yeah, it's such a hot button topic.
I know.
It's complicated quick.
Yeah, and maybe again,
because
maybe there's more I don't know.
Anything that I think that's why it's so sensitive. Obviously, I have some opinions on it, but it's not that I'm against. How do I say? Because so much can just be misconstrued without knowing who I am as a person and what I believe. So it's just I
know. I'm right. I feel the same way. Because I am
in a society that's quick to judge and cancel the hell out of you.
Yeah, but I honestly you have that shirt that says cancel culture with it straight. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be
compliments of Barstool Sports.
I don't know. When we were talking about our weight loss, and then I hear him say he lost 10 pounds, and I'm over here gained a pound. It immediately just popped into my head. And I don't know. I hope that I never, ever want to offend anyone at all. But, it is it's a hot topic of discussion. And I think some people, from what I know, unless, again, someone can educate me and prove to me that what I think is wrong, I think some people made some poor decisions. And it's unfortunate.
I say things hurtful to my sisters all the time. And it's just truth and honesty. It's me giving them my opinion, but they know I still love them. So I can still love, Leah Thomas, and still just speak my own, maybe harsh truth. And I don't think she should compete with women.
Yeah. And I wonder, does the Leah Thomas, is there any ounce of her that feels guilty? Do you feel like you took this from, I don't know, I'm reaching there, but it's,
that's a good question though.
How do you,
so specific to this she just won the 500 meter butterfly national champion.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about it is, I guess to get into there's a part of the process in the swimming competition where they take the top 16, and there was one girl who, the 17th place person, who didn't get in and wasn't able to move forward. There's a story about that. I've seen a couple different. I probably shouldn't speak on it if I can't remember the whole thing, but yeah, that individual, she had a teammate speaking up for her, how unfair it was for her to, finish 17th, but still not have an opportunity to swim in finals or something like that. I don't know. So
I would like to know, has anyone beat her?
She actually was beat in a different race.
So there has been a women's race where someone did outright beat her. Kudos to whoever that was.
She actually finished 8th. Let's see, in the 100-yard freestyle.
Interesting.
So, I mean, it's not that there's a freshman from Virginia who won the title, Gretchen Walsh. But yeah, this Leah in that specific race, 100-yard freestyle, she finished 8th.
I don't know. It's a very touchy subject, and I probably threw y'all for a loop when I brought it up.
Wasn't expecting it. Wasn't expecting it.
You know, it's.
Sorry.
But it's kind of hard to, like, when you just in casual conversation,
ignore.
It's hard to ignore something that is so. I mean, it is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's.
I don't know how you handle it, like
Yeah.
with grace and on either side. Like I don't. I mean, because everybody's got strong opinions about it on both sides of the fence, and it's, you know, the way I was raised. I mean, there's obviously, you know, the opinion that's on the left and the opinion that's on the right, and the truth typically lies somewhere in the middle.
In the middle, yep.
You know, and and I don't mean politically when I say left and right. I just mean one side or the other.
I didn't think that, but I'm
all right, cool.
very non-political.
But I mean,
Just to clarify.
I've always, you know, opinions are like, you know what. I mean, everybody's got one. They all stink.
True.
Like the thing that you sit on. You know, that's why I've
Yours
always,
stinks a little worse than most, but
that's because of all the protein I'm trying to eat right now. But it's from a workout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At least Jim is very kind when we're in the gym, and he needs.
Oh, I'll walk away.
He will walk. We all know.
Nobody needs to suffocate.
Jim will walk away like 15 feet, and we're like, well, he's going over there to.
Huh?
So kind of you.
There's that maybe that's why they don't want the name similar, is because every single episode so far we've incorporated that sound.
And we probably are going to until the end of time, and it's cool.
As we should.
That's why we are. It's not a big deal. Like, we're so different in what we.
We're definitely different.
It's a much different mess.
Yeah.
Success.
Do I have any more notes? I am super pumped about the next
Yeah, the next one's going to be good. You might have to shut me off this weekend. Friday and Saturday.
I will shut you off.
You might have to. I'm going down to Nashville. My
What's
wife
going
and I,
on?
we're going to go see Russell Dickerson at the Ryman Auditorium.
What's he saying?
I don't know, but my wife loves him.
I know his name, and I know that there are songs that come up while I'm driving.
She's
that
going
I
to
like
listen to
of
this,
him.
and she's gonna be like, you seriously don't remember anything? Hold on.
Come on, I
sing
need a Russell
everything.
Dickerson song. What you got? You got a song?
I sure don't.
Like the hit go.
I love the Ryman though.
Yeah, it'll be my first show there. I'm legit.
You're
I'm
going to say
pumped.
it, and then be like, oh, yeah, I know that song.
Russell Dickerson. Where's he at? Oh, yeah, this one, She Likes It with Jake Scott. That's a good one.
I don't know that.
She likes it when
I don't know that song.
Oh, this has got a
pick a favorite mood.
sick beat.
When I
Okay.
open up,
I have to
she's talking
download
to
that.
me. When I go
When
get
it hits the chorus,
I bring back
it's good
flowers,
stuff.
and I rub
So
her
you're going there
back
this weekend?
Friday.
Okay.
for an hour.
Little date night.
She likes it when
You'll know
she
this.
likes it when I pour tequila, 'cause she knows that we about to have ourselves
I can hear it in my headphones. So does that mean that people can hear it?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Oh wait, one more thing, and then we can shut it down and then prepare for the comedy that is going to be coming up in 2 weeks. So we went to R4 in Vegas for the Remax convention, and anyone who's been to Vegas and walks around, like, there's people trying to sell you stuff all the time. It's kind of like the people here too in the mall, that like the center. What do you call them things? Like the pop-up shops in the middle of the mall. And they're
You
like,
want my face cream?
yes. And so I kept telling these people, no, I have somewhere to be. And I did have somewhere to be. And I was like, no, I got to go. And she was like, but just, she made it seem like it was going to be for like 5 seconds.
Oh, no. She got you hook, line, and
She
sinker.
got me. So I sat in the chair.
20 minutes later.
She walks away. It's like, oh, her job was to get us out of the hallway into the chair. And then someone else came to the chair. And he was like, I'm going to fix you up. And he starts doing all of these things to one side of my face, only one side. And he puts a mirror in front of my face, and he's like putting I don't know, like something here, the areas we were talking about before we started today, like, I'm not young anymore. So, and then he was like, so he puts them, and then he puts a fan on me to dry it. And I can visibly see my face tighten as I'm looking in the mirror.
All right,
and I'm
now.
like, holy smokes.
Gotcha.
So got me, right? And then, so he's like, okay, this one is, I'm not afraid to say this because my husband does not listen to the podcast and he will never know what I spent on this stuff.
He's going to listen to this one, I
Watch
guarantee.
him, he'll listen to this one. He's like, this one here, $250. And I'm like, $250. But then I look in the mirror and I'm like, well, this side. I said, well, you can't let me walk around like this. You have to do the other side too. He's like, no worries. I'll do the other side. He does that. And then he sends another guy over and he's got something else. He's like, well, let me do, and then he tries to be nice about it, but he's like, no offense, but your neck. And I'm like, no offense taken, none taken. I am fully aware that my neck does not look like it used to. It's fine. So he starts putting this stuff on my neck, and then he puts it like in other places. I'm not gonna go ahead of myself.
$2,000 later.
So he puts this thing here, and then he puts one here. He used 2 different creams. Mind you, I've already checked out and been bagged up for the $250. But wait, there's more. So he's like, same thing. He puts the mirror in front of my face, and I'm like, again, I'm blown away. I am just like, there's no way that just happened. Like, my face lifted itself somehow. So then he's like, he's talking really fast. But I'm like, wait a minute, how much did you say that was? He's like, this one's $1,500, this one's $1,500. And I'm like, oh no, nope, gotta go. Thank you, my husband will kill me. And then he's like, well, and then he starts to go in, but it will last you 24 months. And if you went to the Botox place and you had them do it, you would, in the 24 months, you'd end up spending way more money and you don't have to do that. And it's so much safer. Yada,
And
yada,
we
yada.
take Amex.
Right. So then he says, same thing. This is how the Kirby vacuum salesman got me too.
Those suckers
many
work.
years ago. I fell for that too. He says, after I kept saying no, 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 he said, okay, how about I give you both for the price of one? And I'm like, ultimately, I walked away with both of them. And
Dang. Diamond French.
I want to talk about this because I'm in sales.
He got you.
But I'm not in that kind of sales, obviously. But the walk from leaving that little makeup skincare place to the conference center was the walk of shame. I was like holding this heavy bag with all of this stuff. I was like, so we have a joke now. Now I've told Zach, I'm like, do I look younger? Every time you see me, you need to comment on how much younger I look to make me feel better about blowing all of that money on this product. So I had to talk about that, especially when we were talking about the filler stuff.
I'm just going to age gracefully.
It works.
Ain't no cream going to work for me.
It works.
No,
but
I'm saying, like, I just look the way I look. I mean, it might tighten me up, but I'm just, I am who I am.
Well, yeah, but it's there. It's at my house now. And
So I'm going to come over and get a little dab.
I'm gonna get looking younger and younger each week we come in here for the podcast.
All right, now.
So, all right, now.
Should you put it in a safe?
No, I did tell my girls, though, I said, do not touch this stuff.
That's so funny.
It is off limits.
Your girl's going to listen to this podcast and be like, wait, what? You did what? You spent what?
Yeah.
And you told me I couldn't get that $20 mascara?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Has Dad listened to this episode?
He's never listened to us, and I don't think he's going to start. So I think I'm okay.
Oh, Dag, I didn't mean to send that text to him real quick like that.
Oh, whatever. Okay. So this was kind of a precursor to continue the conversation of the amazing time we had in Vegas and the funny stuff that we learned about what was going on at your house while we were at Vegas.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
We're not going to talk about it because I don't want to spoil it, but it's going to be funny. So
You missed it.
What? For Pete's sakes, did you say? I caught that. No pun intended, but no one else is going to get that.
They will next week if they listen to the next episode.
So on the next episode. Every time you say the next episode, I immediately start rapping in my head.
As you should.
Okay. Well, that's all, folks. All right, take us out, Jim.
Thanks for joining us today on Messy Success with Tracy French and Friends. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time here in studio.